The AFD party in Germany have disinvited Milo, probably at Farage's behest because they're friends with Farage, and Farage doesn't like UKIP, and Milo now works for UKIP because he's friends with Carl Benjamin. So it's all this bitchy rivalries. Farage has told the AFD party to disinvite Milo based on things that the media said, the same media that smears Farage and the AFD party themselves. They are now using that lies and defamation against Milo to say he once defended paedophilia, even though he didn't. They're not even saying that. They're saying he appeared to defend paedophilia. He appeared to defend it. So now you can't have free speech. Populism is supposed to be free speech. If you're a nationalist, you're for free speech. That's a symptom of the West, free speech. We fought for free speech. It's supposed to be part and parcel of living in Western civilization. You know how terrorism and being bombed and killed is part and parcel of living in a big city, not Islamic at all. Or having London with a higher knife crime rate than New York is part and parcel of having a pygmy-faced mayor with small man syndrome. So I had big hopes for Germany. I had big hopes for the Alternative for Deutschland party. But now that they've not supported free speech, there is no hope for Germany. They are not nationalists, they are not populists, they are globalist stooges. They're supported by Farage, another globalist stooge, who's done his bidding to get rid of their UKIP connections, to disinvite Milo because Milo's friends with Sargon, because Sargon works for UKIP, because AFD are friends with Farage. It's a very simple equation when you put it all together. It's a very spiteful equation, but it's what people do in times of war, and that's what it is for Farage. It's a war. He's got to now crush UKIP, and he thought he already did it by backing Henry Bolton. He thought he already did it by calling them Islamophobic and calling them Nazis and thugs and people with no teeth and all the rest of it, and saying they support Tommy Robinson and that they're all the wrong crowd. But UKIP's popularity keeps rising, keeps surging. And I don't know if I believe the polls about 30% popularity for the Brexit party. I don't see why I should believe the polls. It was Nigel Farage himself that said that the commentariat was totally wrong throughout the 2016 referendum and before it, etc. They were saying 1% chance we'll leave, 2% chance we'll leave. Oh yeah, Hillary will get in, 98%, do you remember that? The commentariat, the polls are lying. They lie all the time, that's what they do. They don't gauge society, they steer society. They convince people that someone's winning, so, oh, well, I might as well choose the ones that are winning then, because that's what everyone else is doing. That's how the polling system works. That's how it's always worked. Why have people suddenly conveniently forgotten that now, that it's going their way? It's going in their favour, so we've forgotten that the polls are complete bullshit. Oh, it's just like the Brexit Party and all the Farage so-called Brexit Party supporters have conveniently forgotten about the Islamisation, conveniently forgotten about the Marxist police, conveniently forgotten about the censorship of social media and free speech clampdown across the country, conveniently forgotten that all the criminal police are allowed to just get away with raping children and delivering children to the rapists and arresting their parents as they try and rescue them, conveniently forgotten about all that. Because it's just leaving the European Union that matters, isn't it? We just have to leave the European Union. As soon as we get Brexit, who cares if we live in a caliphate that's just got no free speech rights whatsoever, because at least we live left. Except we won't, because no one ever leaves the European Union. They're made to vote again and again and again. Look at Ireland. They voted the wrong way, they had to vote again. Voted the wrong way, you had to go to vote again. All throughout the decades with the Nice Treaty and the Lisbon Treaty, people that rejected it had to vote again, and then they were forced to accept it. We voted for Brexit in the referendum back then when Brexit mattered. Now we want independence. We wanted independence then, after 40 years or whatever, lying and becoming a political union, and all that stuff that Farage said back then was true. So I do find it quite difficult criticising him this way, because he is kind of like a role model. And he's been on stage with the president, and the president likes him, and he says, Mr. Nigel Farage, oh, thank you, Trump. Oh, it's so grateful to be here, but you shouldn't say those things about Islam, President Trump. Oh. Also, Mr. President, do you want to try and do something about the Second Amendment? Because those guns are killing people, aren't they? Oh. He's a twat. Not Trump. Farage. Farage isn't Trump's friend at all. When Trump finds out the truth about Farage, he would throw him away like the weasel he was. Thank you, Mr. President. I don't actually support gun rights. I actually believe in abortion, but thank you. Here I am. Hello, America. Oh, down with the Second Amendment. Oh, that would go well, wouldn't it? I can't wait for Americans, who still like Farage, to find out the truth about Farage, because then they'll hate him. And it's not just Farage, it's anyone that Farage is affiliated with, and that includes the AFD, Alternative for Deutschland, Germany party, which was going to take back Germany after Merkel massacre, but it's not going to, because it doesn't support free speech. It's just going to be more globalist stooge bullshit. Even when Merkel's gone out of the way, it's just going to be globalists in charge of Germany. May as well make Dresden Part 2. Might as well have been that the Nazis won. How many times have your ancestors said to you, if we didn't win against the Nazis, you'd all be speaking German right now? And then the left, of course, says, well, that's racist because there's nothing wrong with speaking German. Oh, of course, yeah, because Germany's full of German people, isn't it? Or is it becoming an Islamic caliphate like everywhere else? Because now it doesn't even have free speech. Now they can't even have their own meat. They'll probably ban pork or something. They'll go the complete Sharia whole hog. Well, you can't say hog. So, basically, to summarise, Farage can't be trusted. He talks out of both sides of his mouth. Sometimes he says, yes, I support populism. Then he says, oh, no, the Second Amendment is terrible. No, I don't support that. Oh, yes, you should always get your vaccinations. Oh, of course. He just supports the establishment, basically. He's got no mind of his own. He can't use the mind that he had. He can't use the personality that he had, because now he's the enemy. And that's very hard to live with when someone's gone from being an idol to the enemy. To go from being idolised to despised is quite a journey. And to go from believing that the shiny new hope for Europe is actually just another globalist decoy is extremely dispiriting.